Welcome to MindSpring Metro DC's presentation of Who Are Your Saboteurs? Today we will talk about those little voices in your head, everyone has them, that lead to the incessant mind chatter keeping you from reaching your full potential. So how did this mind chatter come about? Well, in the beginning of our life, we were born perfectly comfortable with who we are. We didn't know anything different about ourselves. Remember those fantasies we had as kids? Nothing could stop us. We were going to be firefighters, ballerinas, famous actors, and even the president. Then we hit puberty. By the time we entered high school, and often sooner, we adopted our saboteurs. They helped us to survive the real and imagined threats to our physical and emotional well-being as children. By the time we became adults, we no longer needed these saboteurs, but they still kept themselves burrowed deep in our psyches. As adults, our saboteurs are limiting thoughts or ideas we have about ourselves that simply aren't true. However, and most unfortunately, we think they are. Our saboteurs drive how we see and react to the world, all while sliding under the radar of our awareness of them. These limiting thoughts from our saboteurs have outlived their usefulness. In fact, they're now self-destructive. These saboteurs are the reason we encounter so much conflict in our adult lives and are kept from reaching our full potential. So what are saboteurs? Well, they're a set of automatic and habitual mind patterns with their own voices, beliefs, and assumptions. We all have saboteurs. The question really is, which ones do you have? Now, according to the book Positive Intelligence by Shirzad Chamine, there are 10 saboteurs: the hyperachiever, pleaser, restless, stickler, victim, hyper-rational, hyper-vigilant, controller, avoider, and judge. So, are you ready to be introduced to those voices in your head? First saboteur, the hyperachiever. This saboteur coerces you into being dependent on constant performance and achievement for your self-respect and self-validation. This saboteur keeps you focused on external success rather than internal criteria for happiness, which often leads to workaholic tendencies. As adults, we don't recognize this saboteur's voice because we simply do not question whether our self-acceptance should be linked to our achievements and awards. I mean, who wouldn't want that trophy? Next, we have the pleaser. This saboteur compels you to try to gain acceptance and affection by helping, pleasing, rescuing, or flattering others. This saboteur keeps you from expressing your own needs openly and freely due to a strong need to be liked. As adults, this saboteur is veiled behind the idea that pleasing others is a good thing, denying that one is not really trying to win affection and gain acceptance indirectly. The restless saboteur is constantly in search of greater excitement in the next activity or through perpetual busyness. This saboteur keeps you easily distracted and excessively busy juggling different tasks and plans, causing you to miss out on life as it is happening. The restless mindset caused by this saboteur goes unnoticed because it tells us that we only live once and we should live our life to the fullest. Therefore, we should always be in pursuit of the next excitement. The stickler. The stickler manifests itself as one who takes perfectionism and a need for order and organization to the extreme. This saboteur is highly critical of others and works overtime to make up for their sloppiness and laziness. This saboteur tricks you into thinking perfectionism is good, because we all should be the best at everything. The victim. This is a saboteur that gains attention and affection through the strategic use of emotions. Woe is me. If criticized or misunderstood, this saboteur directs us towards a tendency to withdraw, pout, and sulk. It results in an extreme focus on internal feelings, particularly painful ones, and can often result in a martyr streak. The victim saboteur voice is unrecognized because the person believes being a martyr or victim is the best way to be seen or heard. The hyper-rational. These are our Vulcan saboteurs. They manifest itself through an intense and exclusive focus on the rational processing of everything, including relationships. It causes you to be impatient with people's emotions and regard emotions as unworthy of much time or consideration. When under the influence of this saboteur, you can be perceived as cold, distant, or intellectually arrogant. This saboteur fools us by getting us to believe that the rational mind is the most helpful form of intelligence one can possess. The hypervigilant saboteur makes you feel intense and continuous anxiety about all the dangers surrounding you and what could go wrong. It creates a feeling that others cannot be trusted and a constant suspiciousness of their motives. What are they up to? This saboteur hides behind a voice that indicates the dangers around you are bigger than they actually are, and non-stop vigilance is the best way to tackle them. The controller saboteur runs on an anxiety-based need to take charge and control situations and other people's actions. It causes us to intimidate others with an in-your-face communication style they interpret as anger or criticism. The controller keeps you in its grasp by having you believe that it is needed to get the best out of people around you. The avoider saboteur. This saboteur focuses on the positive and the pleasant in an extreme way. An avoider is happy with the status quo and prefers to not rock the boat. Rather, it encourages you to stay on the well-traveled known road, which feeds procrastination and not handling unpleasant tasks. The avoider saboteur tells us that being positive is better than being negative. You're just being positive, not avoiding your problems, says the avoider saboteur. Last, and certainly not least, the judge is the master saboteur, the one every one of us suffers from. It compels you to find fault with yourself, others, and circumstances, focusing on all that is wrong with the world. The judge was originally formed to reduce our chances of being surprised and harmed by unanticipated dangers to our physical and emotional survival. The judge's interference with our lives often goes unnoticed because it comes off as the tough love voice of reason rather than the destructive saboteur that it is. Our saboteurs will never go away, and trying to get rid of them will only help them become stronger. What we resist persists. The power to overcome them comes from our awareness of them. We can manage our saboteurs by acknowledging them when they show up in our lives, and then either ignoring them or distracting them. Want to find out more? Go to positiveintelligence.com/assessments to find out which saboteurs rule your mind chatter, and then come to a MindSpring Metro DC class or sign up for our coaching program to learn how to live in harmony with them. Thank you for joining us for this session on saboteurs, and we hope to see you in a MindSpring Metro DC program soon.